going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 31 of the Dragoncast. My name is Brian Daniels, and I'm back once again with my podcast partner in crime, Victor Salazar. Victor, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Brian? Oh, man, what's going on today? I don't know. It's still pretty bright and early. I don't even think it's 7 a.m. yet over here in the Southern California area. But, it's a long weekend. We still got it going. Oh, it's not really a long weekend, but whatever, dude. It's still early. I'm rambling now. What's going on, Brian?
Oh, man, we had I mean, the weekend's really just getting started, right? It's Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I know some people, I know my belief was always like Friday was the beginning of the weekend. Like when you get off work and stuff, like, okay, the weekend has arrived, right? I know on Friday, it's Saturday, but you know, once again, to keep the chronologically, you know, since people are listening to this on Monday, Friday, which would be last night, my wife and I went to the drive-in, and it was kind of nice. They did try to do their best with social distancing, but of course, you know, people can only do so well on their own trying to do that. But it was fun. We watched the Goonies and Gremlins, two classic movies at the drive-in. It was beautiful, beautiful evening, and it was great. And
beautiful evenings, man. You got to catch that comet, Neowise, out of the sky.
I know, man.
You got to go see.
I know. You Victor was telling me about that before we started. That there's a comet called Neowise, right? And I was telling Victor that my wife. She said, "Did you see that? Did you see the shoot? I think I saw a shooting star." And I looked up. I'm like, "I don't see a damn thing. What are you talking about?" and Victor tells me, he's like, "So did you catch that comment?" I was like, "I thought you said comment." I was like, "What comment? What happened?" Like,
who said what on Twitter?
Who said what now? It's like, what
That's
comment,
funny, dude?
No, but I had no idea. So that makes a lot of sense. That my wife might have seen something like that last night. But you can catch that comet.
There you go.
On I think it says on Forbes says that it's going to be for the next few weeks, which is insane. I always thought that a comet was like something that just went by and that's it. Like you got like an hour or two to check it out and it's gone, man. But apparently this one is sticking around Earth for a while, and it's supposed to be at its closest point on Thursday coming up. So you might want to go out and wherever you are Thursday evening, as long as you're in a place with a nice, you know, clear view of the sky, and try to find this comet. So
yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over the internet right now. We drove around for about 10 minutes looking for a nice spot to get a glimpse of it, and we found one. And then we come home and realize, oh, man, we can see it from home. It's right around the corner, right around this tree here. So that was pretty neat. But, yeah.
Yeah,
that was my Friday night, too, you know.
But yeah, guys.
I'm checking it out again sometime soon, so you get a picture of it.
Yeah. Well, guys, today on this episode, we're going to talk about a couple things. We're obviously going to talk about we mentioned the whole Dr. Disrespect ordeal a few weeks ago on the show. It's been a long time. It's been probably, I think, like 3 weeks now since Dr. Disrespect has been banned from Twitch. We're going to talk about that. And then the other thing we're going to talk about today, I'm going to give my honest opinion and kind of key in Victor on some things about Virtual Popcon. And just my honest review, if you will, and discussion about my my issues with it and a few good things. But we'll get into the meat and potatoes of that in a second. But first, let's talk about. I do want to mention we have a new sponsor, Victor. I don't know if you knew this or not, but
I've got sponsors.
I got Monthly Tea Club. And they've been sending me shirts. I actually subscribed to them a while back. I think like back in May, and they sent me a shirt. And they actually said, "Hey, we would love to." You know, I reached out to them, told them we have this little podcast we do. So they've been sending me T-shirts now as a sponsor. And I said, "Look, I'll wear your shirts. You know, I'll do whatever, right? I love their clothes, right? So thank you, Monthly Tea Club, for sponsoring our podcast. They said they've been giving us a listen. So thank you, Monthly Tea Club, for sponsoring the Dragoncast. We do appreciate it. You guys can go to monthlyteaclub.com, sign up for a monthly subscription. I believe they start as low as $14. And what's great, Victor, about Monthly Tea Club is they actually have you. They ask you all kinds of questions about what kind of stuff you're into for pop culture, things like that. Like, what movies do you like? What kind of brands do you like? What kind of stuff do you like? Movies, gaming, TV, all that good stuff. And then what's pretty damn cool about Monthly Tea Club, I'll say this, is that based upon what your interests are, they send you a shirt, a random shirt, based upon the interest that you gave them. So it really is truly a club that is focused and centered around the person that signs up for it. So you guys can go to monthlyteaclub.com right now and sign up for a subscription. I believe they do a 1 t-shirt and a 2 t-shirt subscription. And you can also go check out my unboxing video for the month of June. It's up right now on our YouTube channel, where you can also find all of our video podcasts for the Dragoncast. And you can go watch me unbox that June monthly T-shirt club or monthly Tea Club unboxing. And I will have next week, actually this week, because you're listening to it on Monday, the July unboxing video for Monthly Tea Club. So be on the lookout for those every month. And thank you, Monthly Tea Club. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely a jeans and t-shirt type of guy.
Yeah, man.
T-shirts, man. I love t-shirts, you know?
Yeah. So let's get right into Dr. Disrespect here. So apparently he did an interview with PC Gamer recently, and he came out and I guess from not necessarily hiding, if you will, but we had discussed last time we talked about this, Victor. We said that he could be in a very big legal battle. That's why he's not said anything. He's being real hush about it. This is really an unprecedented thing for Twitch, because usually, I'll tell you this, when they ban you, they'll tell you straight up. They're like, okay, you did this, you're banned.
That's right.
Right. That's just all there is to it. However, this is the first time where a person on Twitch has been banned and not been told, especially a huge, celebrity, if you will, or a person that is on Twitch, a Twitch streamer, that gets banned for no reason. I mean, there is a reason. He just doesn't know it yet, apparently, or so he says.
What that is.
I mean, he says he doesn't know what it is, but I don't know if I'm buying that, Victor. I mean, honestly, he gets into this big long interview.
I think he's got to know, man.
Yeah, like I think he has to know.
I think he knows. I think he knows something. I think just by looking at that last minute or so of his final stream, have you got a chance to catch that already?
Yeah.
If you see that last minute of his stream,
yeah,
he knows something's up. He's already talking about champions. We'll get through this. We'll be all right. Well, if he doesn't know nothing, what is he getting through? That something was done, something was said. He received some kind of message at that point, because he's pretty distraught. So he received some news that he's just not really sharing with us.
Yeah, well, in the PC Gamer interview, he kind of goes on that he actually mentions that he gets asked about that last 5 minutes or so of his very final stream. Did that have anything to do with anything? Like, you kind of responded. He's like, no, actually, that had nothing to do with me being banned. Once again, I think this is a really shady situation on both accounts. I really want to. Part of me wants to believe Guy Beam, by the way, is his real name, that plays Dr. Disrespect. And honestly, I don't think there's no way in hell that this guy does not know at all why he got banned. I find that very hard to believe. And on the flip side of that, though, it's like maybe they didn't tell him because they don't have a reason. Because here's what I think honestly happened. I think that Mixer is going to be ending on the 22nd of this month. Mixer is gone, right? This has been the competition, if you will, of Twitch. Mixer, owned by Microsoft. and they are going to be no more as of after the 22nd of this month. So here's my take. They Twitch had they lost to Ninja, they lost Shroud, and they were worried that they were going to lose Dr. Disrespect. So they paid, and this is a fact right here. They signed I think like a $20 or $40 million contract with Dr. Disrespect to stay on Twitch, so that because they were afraid that he was going to leave and go to Mixer. Well, now that Mixer's no more, Twitch is like, oh shit, we just gave this guy, possibly $40 million, and now we don't need to. So now they might have potentially, in essence, fired him from the platform to not have to give him this $40 million. So now, if you're reading this PC Gamer article, Victor, it does say that he is considering actually taking Twitch to court over this. Which if Twitch did screw him over out of all this money and maybe that's why they're not telling him why he got banned, because they don't have any reason. They have no BS reason why, other than they just didn't want to pay him $40 million. And honestly, if that's the case, I hope he sues the shit out of them.
Yeah. I mean, this is a very weird situation because I'm looking at it from Dr. Disrespect's side. If I were to I'm not sure what the contract was. I'm trying to look it up, but it's still early. So let's just say it's 40. Let's say it's 20 million. So if I have a contract for 20 million, man, that's a lot of money. And if I get banned, or I write back and be like, hey guys, what the hell is going on? Where's my money? I need to know. I feel like he's stepping back and he being silent for the past 3 weeks removes some weight on that particular theory, speculation, where maybe he is at fault at something and he's trying to find a way through his legal team or through whoever, a way where he can crawl his way back or battle it or something. Like, he's got to gather information before he can say, hey guys, I'm in the wrong. You guys are wronging me here. What's going on? I mean, that's what I would do, man. Imagine that if you have a $20 million contract and your boss fires you for no reason, wouldn't you be going back saying, oh, hell no, you better give me my money?
Yeah, dude.
But that's
that's nuts, man. I completely agree.
Here. It's so weird, man. It's just a weird situation. Yeah, it's just so weird the way this is working out. But it looks like he got this interview going. My understanding is he stuttered, and a lot of the answers he gave out, he was being tight-lipped about certain things. So there's still a lot of, I feel like he said something, but he didn't really say anything. So we're still on the same boat. We're still speculating. We're still trying to figure it out. I don't believe he doesn't know. I think he does know. He just can't say anything for whatever reason.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think he knows, and for legal reasons, he can't say anything. But my thing is that if he knows, why would he lie and say he doesn't know? I mean, that sounds like something that doesn't sound like he would do that, because Guy tends to be a pretty transparent person. I mean, this is the person that back in I think it was like December of 2018. He went live on Twitch out of character, and it was actually himself, and admitted to cheating on his wife, like way out of So I mean, if he's man enough to do that, if he's big enough to do that, I don't know why he would lie and say he doesn't know, because all he'd have to say is, well, I mean, I do know, but I can't get into it right now for legal reasons, or I can't.
Yeah, right.
Or I can't talk about it because of contract reasons or whatever, right? I mean, because that's what basically anybody says that's a celebrity. They just say, hey, I can't talk about it because of lawyers. Why would you?
We got this going on, but just can't say nothing right now. But I'll fill you in about whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think that I really don't think he knows, because honestly, if he did know, he would have just say, I don't know. I think that's a very petty thing to lie about when you're someone as big as him. But then again, maybe I don't know, man. It's hard to say really for sure one way or another if he knows or not. But some other interesting things in this PC Gamer interview, Victor, is Dr. Disrespect is coming back. He did make a very mention of that. That he is going to come out with a Doc 3.0, and he will be coming back very soon. And they asked him, like, are you looking for another exclusivity deal? Like, are you wanting to go to Twitch? Are you wanting to go to Facebook? And Doc actually said that he doesn't care about exclusivity. I mean, the guy probably has millions of dollars already in the bank.
Yeah.
So I mean, at this point, he's probably like, look, I don't really care. He did mention that he is considering streaming on his own website because he already has one, championsclub.gg. So maybe he could just give Twitch the middle finger and just say, look, I'm going to do this by myself. Because honestly, I feel like for someone as big as him, as big as his brand is, he could go on his own and not need to worry about filtering his money through another company to get paid. He could just get paid directly. And I think he would make more money if he just did it himself. Now, I've always been I'm a big fan of competition, Victor. Competition always is a good thing, right? Mm. You know, competition makes everybody try to do better and be better, right? That's right. And that was what I kind of got a little excited about last year when Ninja went to Mix. I was like, okay, Mixer's going to step up their game, right? And this might force Twitch to actually step up their game because let's face it, Twitch hasn't really been all that great lately. They've been pretty controversial in some things. You know, their handling of banning people and things like that. They, you know, sometimes the terms of service applies to some, but not all. You know, I've never been a big fan of that. You know, so I mean, they even had they were in the news not that long ago, actually, about a month ago. They've got this Twitch Safety Council thing. I don't know if you heard about this or not, but they basically had fellow streamers they handpicked to form this safety council, and this one person they picked, this I believe she's a trans female, and she made some comments on how she got picked, and she said that she was glad because she has all the power, and that she was unbannable and unstoppable now. And then she even went as far as to say that most gamers are white supremacists. I mean, she made some very, very bad comments. And is
this the Ferociously Steph? Was that her?
Yeah,
that was her, right?
That's her, yes. And she said
I remember that. That was crazy.
She made those comments, and they didn't really like. A lot of people didn't really like her making those comments. And she is still a part. She is still a part of this safety council, which is unbelievable. And so yeah, Twitch has been getting some pretty bad press. So I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe Dr. Disrespect, maybe Ninja could come together. They've got the money between the two of them, and maybe they can start their own streaming platform. I mean, between the two of them, they got the know-how and the brains and all that. I mean, I think that they should do that. I personally have always even said that I would like to see, because YouTube's a mess, right? I mean, YouTube's a mess for all sorts of reasons. I feel like maybe YouTube needs some competition, and maybe these YouTubers should get together and build their own platform, and go against YouTube, right? Now, I will tell you this, Victor, there's a rumor going around that Spotify is actually considering having its own streaming platform, kind of like Twitch. And actually, the best part about that is they have all this music, so you wouldn't have to worry about licensing and getting struck down for using music and stuff like that. And I believe they got I think Joe Rogan and his podcast just signed like an exclusivity deal with Spotify. So I think he's going to Spotify in like October. So So here we go. I hope so. Places like YouTube and Twitch without competition are dangerous, man. Like it's not good when you are the only one out there. And I want to see these places have some healthy competition. You know what I mean? So
man, these services, they get stagnant. They don't bother. They will put out the same crap over and over again, and they let people get away with things because it's like, hey, well, where else are you gonna go? You either put up with me or you put up with nobody.
Yeah.
So I think that this competition needs to happen. I think Spotify entering the video streaming service would be a big boon to the industry. Because let's face it, YouTube, people were posting funny memes, they were posting funny whatever, and that was their livelihood. Now that esports has been making this big surge and people have been, streaming their gaming, I've always believed that the gaming community, they just wanted to show off their gameplay. Check it out. This is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. And that's how we ended up building that through YouTube at first.
Yeah.
Now that it's at a point where we already know these big names, Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Ninja, we know who these guys are because of the video streaming services, because of the gaming, that I don't think they need that platform to show off their skills anymore. They're at the point where they can just say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to stream it from my site. I'm just going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they'll have the followers.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is, what about those up-and-coming guys, the guys that need that free service to just show that off? I think it's a little bit of a disrespect to them, or not disrespect, but if you can't get your stuff together, those are the guys that you're going to hurt. And I could see this being an issue where those up-and-comer guys may not want to jump onto your service if you guys are having all of these issues, man. Because this negative press is ugly. Without giving word to what's going on with Dr. Disrespect is ugly. Yeah. If I'm a gamer wanting to stream, the first thing I'm going to think is, oh, man, they did Dr. Disrespect dirty, if that's what's going on. I'm not so sure I want to be there no more,
Yeah.
So this is the kind of stuff that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, you have to understand too. Think about we'll get into something real quick here that Dr. Disrespect did mention that I haven't talked about yet. But I mean, think about all of those subscribers that had to have all of their all those subscribers of Dr. Disrespect that immediately got their subscriptions canceled and refunded. So imagine, if you will, it kind of goes both ways, really. Imagine you're the viewer, and that's all you do. You don't use Twitch like how I use Twitch to stream on. You're just the consumer. You're consuming the content. You're not actually making content. So what if you get behind a big person like Dr. Disrespect and you pay all this money and you get all these badges because you get loyalty badges for however many months you're a subscriber to somebody, and then all of it gone. They just take it away from you. And they don't give you any reason. And I have always been a big, there has been businesses that I've unfortunately been a part of. I remember, I'll go into this real quick. There was a specific this is going to show my age, but it was like an internet cafe, right? It was a gaming center. It was a gaming center, really. They had all kinds of consoles and computers and stuff set up. And pardon me. And out of nowhere, they decided to close up shop, and they did not tell their customers what happened. They didn't say, well, we just, it didn't work out, or we failed as there is. I will tell you guys something real quick. If you're a business owner out there, there is no shame in defeat. You tried, right? And be a little bit humble. You got to let your customers know too, especially what happened. So that way they can trust you and they can follow you to whatever your next business venture may be. So, I mean, honestly, and so what happened was it upset me because I had been a community. I had run a Halo community. I'm a big Halo fan. And so me and this other guy who helped run this Halo community, we didn't know what the hell happened. We were like, what? It's so you're shutting down, closing up? And they didn't really give a specific, here's what happened, and I get it's not really anybody's business to go into the deep details of things, but you can at least give a statement and let us know what happened. And so
yeah, even
here,
just a simple
you know,
statement like, oh, you know what, just wasn't working out. You
yeah,
know, we weren't making money. All right,
right,
cool. I get it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
You know, so but and so I've always been a champion of you got to let your customers know. You need to be somewhat transparent with them. So it makes me mad. Now I have subscribed to Dr. Disrespect before. I wasn't a current subscriber then when this all went down. But I will say this: I would be mad as hell if I had been paying to be a subscriber of his for years, and then it just got my subscription just got pulled out from under me with no like reason why, none.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like there is it is on Twitch to at least give their loyal viewers of their brand and of his brand to tell their viewers like, okay, here's what happened. You know, they've you know, and it just sucks. It just sucks all the way around. It sucks for for big streamers. You know, they're going to be concerned now, like, oh, what am I going to do, right? There's that constant fear of the unknown because now nobody knows what he got banned for. So how do I know I'm doing something right? How do I know I'm doing the right? What if I get banned for no reason, right? Now, granted, I'm not making $40 million, okay, but even so, I mean, it just seems like they're getting a little too power hungry, and they really need something to rope them in, and of course, lest we all forget, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so there's that. Amazon, and I don't think Amazon's a necessarily terrible company, but it's corporate. So I mean, you know, Twitch was a homegrown website at first, and then they got bought by a corporate, and it just seems like ever since they got bought by a corporate, it's just been like a completely different place to be.
Yeah.
So. But I will say this, that Dr. Disrespect did mention that he will not be returning to Twitch anymore. He is done. They're done. So I guess he knows that at least, right? He knows that he's not welcome on the platform. He is permanently banned. He will not be on Twitch again. He did make that very, very clear that he will not be on Twitch anymore. I find that very interesting. It makes me also, once again, wonder if he really knows. You know, because, I mean, surely they wouldn't just tell him that without any reason, but I don't know, man. I have no idea.
It's just weird, man. It's really weird. It's funny because I was reading the article last night on it. I want to say it was the Washington Post. Could have been some other website, but it had made mention that Giphy. Now, is Giphy associated with Amazon or Twitch in any way at all? Do you know?
Oh no, but I know what you're about to talk about. But yeah,
yeah, they removed all of his images, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, are they on the bandwagon here? Are they just following, you know,
well, that's what makes
doing and removing stuff, or what?
Well, that's what makes people wonder what this is all about. Like, what did he do?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Because some people think that like Dr. Disrespect did something really, really, really bad. But if he was doing something, but in this interview with PC Gamer, he doesn't sound like the guy that did something really bad, like did some heinous crime. He seems pretty relaxed, like he's moving forward. You know, he's talking about streaming on his own website. I don't know, man. I mean, his wife seems pretty supportive of him. She tweeted on her Twitter, you know, that they're staying strong together. So I mean, I don't know, man. This is a real bad like gray area here.
It's a lot of weirdness, man.
I don't know. This overall really this hurts the integrity of Twitch. This absolutely, without a doubt, hurts Twitch's integrity, as if it hasn't been already hurt by the whole ferociously Steph thing. That was the one that started it all, and then now this. So Twitch, you're not giving yourselves a real good look here when you make these ridiculous decisions on that. But we're gonna go ahead and move on from here, Victor, and
let's move on.
Let's get into the Virtual Popcon. So for those who don't know, I do some convention reviews. I have a little convention review series called Pros and Cons. Get it? See what I did there? And on our Dragon Blogger website, you can go there, dragonblogger.com. You can look up all my convention reviews there. And I will be doing an article, a full, more in-depth article about Virtual Popcon rather. This is the very first ever virtual convention that I've ever attended and had the pleasure of checking out. And I get a lot of people that ask me, they're like, when you go to these cons, I know you're there to kind of judge them, I guess, if you will. And
yeah, right.
I do have fun, depending on the convention. But you have to also understand that while I'm having fun, I am paying attention to a lot of details. That's just what's I do.
Going on.
It's part of my career as a writer and reviewer to do these sort of things. So yes, I do have fun on certain levels anyway. But that does not mean that I don't pay attention. And I did a really in-depth review of PopCon Indie last year, and it was probably one that I did not like having to do because I always support local. I love local conventions, and PopCon is a local convention in Indianapolis, and I kind of had to put them through the ringer last year and give them some criticisms, and they told me they appreciated it. So I didn't expect that. When you have to give criticisms of somebody's work or what they do or their business,
they say thank you.
you don't expect that. So herein lies. Here we are again, and you might want to brace yourselves because I'm gonna give it to them here, Victor. They're gonna get some really good criticism. We'll put it that way.
About, constructive criticism.
Some constructive criticism, and this is simply my opinion. So take it for what it's worth. For what I experienced. So now, Victor, I know the only real experience you had with the convention was the podcast we did. For those who don't know, Victor and I got invited to be a part of the Virtual Popcon podcast marathon this past weekend. And last Sunday, if you will, we went live on StreamYard, which I've never used StreamYard myself to do a show. Although for those of you who remember, KJ, we had her on our show as a guest last month. She was the one running this podcast marathon. She's fantastic, by the way. She does a great job.
Oh yeah.
We use StreamYard, and I'm not a fan of StreamYard, Victor. I know you and I kind of talked a little bit about this before we started the show today. My problem with StreamYard, and this is just a little, this is the reason why I'm talking about this because this is included into the overall Virtual Popcon review, is you don't get to see your chat or interact with your chat in real time. I did notice that some of the panels I went to, because they use StreamYard exclusively for all of their live content. And what I did notice is, like, if you typed a question in chat, whoever the moderator was or whoever was working at Virtual Popcon HQ at an undisclosed, or they said a secret location, was the one giving them the questions. Now, I will say, for a panel, that makes a little bit of sense. But for a podcast going live, I don't know about you, but I like to interact with my chat and fans in real time, because I thought that the whole point of this convention was to try to make it as virtual as possible and still feel like we're all together in like the same room, as if you and I were in front of a bunch of people at a convention, right? So I didn't really get that feeling or get that vibe, because when I went to the few panels that I did go to and interact with, I didn't. You can interact with other people in the chat, but you can't so much interact with the people at the panel. And they only get to pick and choose questions. They can't see like your comments and things like that. So I look at it like this. Imagine if we went to a convention and they had us behind a curtain, or they had us in another room, and we couldn't see the crowd, but they were there, like on the other side of the door, and someone was running back and forth and giving us questions. That's how it felt. it didn't feel like the crowd was there with the panel, and the panelists could interact with the crowd in real time like they do at a con, because that's what I've always appreciated about going to a real con is, you get the celebrities, they'll point somebody out or say, oh, I love your cosplayer. It's that interactivity, interactive feel and vibe. And that was not really there so much, I didn't feel, at Virtual Popcon, was the lack of a real feel of being able to interact with the crowd and the crowd being able to interact with the panelists. It basically just boiled down to like a Q&A for every panel, and there was no like, oh, hey, I saw what you wrote in chat. Yeah, you're right. More like Twitch. There was that. It was taken away.
But to be fair,
yeah,
there was some weather issues that weekend.
Yeah, there was.
And I do know that there was some technical difficulties, so it could have been just a casualty of weather where, the chat couldn't go live or whatever. I mean, I don't know. We still need some answers, to be honest.
That's a good point. There was weather. They had some bad weather in Indy that weekend. They had a bad storm there. But other problems I had was the website. So we had Carl on a few weeks before, actually a month before, I think, on our show. Carl is the co-owner of PopCon. He's basically the PR guy, kind of like the face of the show, if you will.
Face of PopCon, yeah.
And we asked him some questions about what Virtual Popcon was going to be like. I do recall he did kind of mention like everything will be accessible from the PopCon website. You'll be able to go on the PopCon website, and you'll be able to watch and interact with things there. Well, I will tell you this, that was not the case for the events anyway. So, Victor, you go on the website, and of course you had to buy a badge, which I didn't really think was a good idea. I didn't like the whole concept of having to pay to go to this event, because you have conventions like SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, doing it completely free. They're going online, and everything's free to attend. And I believe that's this coming weekend is when SDCC is doing their online at home thing. And it's free. PopCon was charging, I believe, $7.99 for a weekend virtual badge, which I didn't really think that they should have charged for this convention. But I get they need to make money, but I think there's other ways to make money than doing it that way. But you had to go to their website, and it did give you a list of all the events. Now, to me, I'm thinking, okay, if I click on this event, it's going to take me to the video and be able to go watch it, right? Not at all true. Not at all true. You could not go directly to the event, because what they did, Victor, was they used another site called Tixr, TIXR.com, which I had never in my life heard of before. And so we did this. And that's where you actually accessed all of your content, was there. That's where you got your badge. That's where you clicked. There was a little My Media drop down, and you clicked into that. And then that's where you got to access all the panels. That's how people access the podcast and things like that for certain days. I had really wished that they had been able to, and I'm sure there was a way somehow, a roundabout way, to be able to tie in all of that to the PopCon page, to be able to click on that event and just go to it. So that did make it a little, I would say, it's a slight inconvenience, if you will. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of an annoyance having to click through several things just to get somewhere.
Yeah. The other problem I had was a lot of the events, I know I mentioned this to you, did not have descriptions. For instance, our podcast wasn't even on the event page until I think that Friday of the show. I think I had messaged Carl the night before, and then it didn't get put up until the next day, and they didn't even have our podcast name on there, right? But beside all that, I mean, yeah, I think it just said Dragon Blogger. It didn't say the Dragoncast. It just said Dragon Blogger, which is not the name of our show, albeit we are on Dragon Blogger YouTube, but we're not. That's not the show. And so I was like, okay. And I will tell you guys this. They did have us, all of us that were podcasters that got invited. We had to give them, we had to fill out like a Google document, like a Google Sheet thing. And it said, what's the name of your podcast? What's your name? Give us a description of your show, and then let us know what times you're available to podcast.
So they had all that information.
They had all that information. And if you were to click on the drop down of our show, there was no description there. So so if people were like interested in our podcast, they wouldn't know what the hell it was about because there was literally nothing there. And Victor, I'm going to tell you this. That wasn't the only thing. There was several other events, podcasts, etc., that had no whatsoever description. So you wouldn't
Sounds like it's a technical issue on their end, huh?
Or something.
Or someone was just,
I don't know.
Or someone was falling asleep at the switch.
Or somebody just didn't, which sucks because you have to let your attendees know what these events are about. And it makes me wonder, how, Victor, we talked about, this is before we had Carl on the show. We talked about, I brought up PopCon a little bit and was saying that this was before they had decided to go full virtual.
Mm-hmm.
I often wonder, I would love to know when they actually decided, okay, we're going to go ahead and do a virtual con. Because they did not let their attendees know, I think, until like June, like first or second week of June. Because I'll be honest with you, man, I don't pull punches on when I review stuff. This whole virtual convention felt rushed. It really did.
That's what I'm about to say.
It felt like it was put together in like maybe 4 weeks time. When we talked to Carl on the podcast, he even seemed like they didn't really have an idea of how this was going to work. There were a lot of things he couldn't really answer. I don't know if he couldn't answer because he couldn't tell me certain things, or if he just didn't know. But this did feel like an extremely rushed convention that was kind of just thrown together. And look, I get it. This is even Carl had said himself, this is like starting a whole new convention. I get it.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about how to put this together, because I am going to write an article about this, of course, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be too harsh on them because this is their first time doing it. Hell, this is the first time for a lot of conventions doing it.
A lot of people, yeah.
But I don't feel like they gave themselves ample amount of time. I think what should have happened. I think what should have happened was, this whole pandemic thing's been around for several months now. I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to push and push and push and wait literally till the last minute to hope that they could do an in-person con. Yeah. And what they should have done, in my opinion, was cut their losses, because guess what? When you own a business, you got to do that sometimes. That's expected. That's the whole beautiful, I guess, if you will, part about running a business, any business, is you have to expect loss, and sometimes you got to cut your losses. And I feel like what they really should have done was say, okay, look, we're going to cut our losses. We're going to put the best virtual convention in town in July. And I really feel, Victor, that if they had done that back in like May and made an announcement in May and just said, hey, look, guys, we're still having a convention in July. It's going to be a virtual convention. And we are going to put on the best damn virtual PopCon you can imagine. I feel like if they gave themselves 2 good months, about a month, we'll say a month and a half, to get this done, it could have been a lot better than what it was. And it just, it really felt rushed. Another thing that I thought was really weird, in my opinion.
Hold on. Before we continue on that, quickly,
yes.
I do remember the conversation with Carl, and I do remember him, saying that, well, we're gonna try to do. He had a lot of good ideas that he wanted to implement.
Yeah.
Going back to time, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I really do believe that they were waiting and hoping and praying that they will be able to host, a live convention with people at the site. Location, I should say. Yeah. But obviously that didn't happen. Personally, I think that they should have been trying to get this taken care of behind the scenes, just in case we can have a location-based event.
Yeah.
We'll have the backup. We've already had our thing. We've already had, things in place and con if needed. But I definitely feels like, you know what, we waited to the last minute. They said no, and it was scramble. I'm not so sure if they got a chance to test some of these things, because some of the stuff you said sounded pretty good. And I was like, hey, that sounds great. I'm wondering how you're going to take care of that.
Yeah.
And, based on your experience, it seems that stuff was rushed, and giving yourself some time and a chance to make it better, man.
And the other thing too, which was so weird, was they had conventions usually sell like a convention shirt. I know Gen Con does like this really cool logo. They do a different logo every year for each con, and you can buy a shirt and you can buy it on cups.
Oh, yes.
Stuff. And I love the Virtual Popcon logo. I think it looks cool. I like the way they did that. That design looks cool. And everybody had a shirt, and I was like, man, I want to get one of those shirts. Where So
that's right.
So I go on PopCon's site because I'm thinking, look, if I'm going to get this shirt, I should be able to go find it on their site. Dude, check this out. It's nowhere on their website. Nowhere.
What?
I kid you not, man. I remember telling my wife, I was like, because I had the laptop in the living room. I was on my recliner, and I was like, man, I want to get that shirt, man. I want to rock that shirt, And so I go to their website, popcon.us, and I go there and I go to apparel. I think it's like apparel or items or whatever shop. And I'm looking through their T-shirts. I'm like, okay, this is from 2015. This is from 20. And so I go to page 3 because it looks like they have them all in order from like first con to like latest con. So I get to page 3 and I'm thinking, okay, this is where it's at. It is nowhere to be found. They don't have that.
Man.
They don't have that shirt on there at all. They don't even have a link to where the shirt is at, because you can hyperlink it to your page. I mean, it's easy to do. Tons of websites do it. And I'm like, where the hell do I get this shirt? Because surely you could buy the shirt.
Man.
So it took me having to be on the PopCon Facebook group, and I think KJ posted it because I think she was the one helping sell it. And it took me, and she was the one that actually, I think it was her or somebody else, I think. Posted the link to it on Teespring, and I'm like, why is this not on your PopCon website? What the hell? Like, I don't know, man. That was a minor issue, but an issue nonetheless. And
no, man, that's not a minor issue. Man.
That's a major issue.
That's a danger issue. I mean, if you're promoting your event, PopCon.
Yeah.
And the first thing, I don't want to say the first thing, but when you hit a shop, man, that most recent merch should be on page 1.
Absolutely.
Oh, here's all my PopCon 2020 virtual stuff is here. Mugs, T-shirts, hats, whatever.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go back through time, you can go through, page 4, 5, 6 and hit the 2010 stuff. But I'm extremely surprised that it wasn't there.
Right? Yeah, like I was going through and I was searching everywhere, like, and I was telling my wife because they had a virtual vendor hall, which that's a whole other issue right there too. I go to their virtual vendor hall and I'm looking through and I'm like, okay, maybe they had like an artist, a local artist, because that makes sense, right? Maybe they had a local artist make the shirt. So I click on, and they only had, I think, was it 12, 17 vendors? And I'm clicking through each one, which, by the way, here's the deal on the whole vendors. The virtual vendor hall was all that it was, and maybe I expected more. That's just me. All the virtual vendor hall was, Victor, was just a page with all of these different vendors' icons on them and like what they were, and just a link to their just website. That was it. And no special discount code for being a PopCon badge holder. I'm telling you, that was really weird. But I go through all these. I'm like, okay, surely one of these people has this. Maybe they did it. Not a single one. I went through all of them, but I'm like, are you kidding me? How do you not have this shirt on your freaking website, man? Just
no, that's I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's
Carl,
weird.
Carl,
that's
Carl,
weird.
Carl. I'm speaking to you, Carl. That's kind of unacceptable, my friend.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? when your logo is out there and your event is out there, and people want to show support, T-shirts, just like we just talked earlier,
Oh, dude.
T-shirts are amazing.
Oh,
But
man,
T-shirts are the very first thing that anybody at a convention is going to want. Oh, man, I'm at Comic-Con. Where can I get a T-shirt? Oh, I'm at Disneyland. Where can I get a T-shirt? Oh, I'm at wherever. Where can I get a T-shirt? T-shirt. And for it not to be, front and center, page one, welcome to, Virtual Popcon, support the site, support the event, get a T-shirt, get a hat right here. It's not even there.
This is going to make you more upset. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
But wait, there's more. I think they said that all the proceeds from the shirt sales went to Make-A-Wish Foundation. How in the hell do you not have that on your website, man?
That should be the very first thing you see.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, that.
You know what? Again, to be fair, growing pains. To be fair,
sure.
First ever virtual con. Maybe it was something that was overlooked, but
I don't see how you overlooked that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that.
That's your branding.
Let's just put it in.
That's your brand.
Let's put it in this. Put it in this perspective, man. Right away, someone told you and I, Brian, hey, dude, you have free reign to start a website so you can support the show. Cool. Where can we get the logo? Let's put that logo on a shirt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Dude, I would brand the hell out of that stuff, man.
Yes.
Not even start and end at T-shirts. Where's the coffee mugs at? Man,
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
I'm a coffee
put that logo on everything.
Dude.
But it's crazy.
I don't get it. I don't understand that. But let me see. What else was there? You know what? I got a list. And it's funny. I do this every time I'm at a con. I get my memo pad out on my phone, and I take notes because that's what a good reviewer does. You notice things, you gotta write it down. There was let's see what we got here.
That's funny, man. You take notes in a pad. I take notes on a tiny notebook I keep in my pocket.
Man. I actually did it. One more thing too. They had on the event pages. If you were to visit, whenever you visit the website, if you click on an event. Now, see, I expected to click on an event and it take me to that event.
To the event.
Right? Like, dude, you got me. Let's go. When you would click on the event, Victor, what it would do is it would hit a drop. You would have a drop down, which, by the way, no logos for anything, for anybody.
Really?
Yeah, like they had me send in the logo of our podcast. None of that got used on the website, on the events. None of it got used.
No, that all sounds like time to me, man.
I think it's time thing. But they all had little QR codes on them. And I was like, maybe that's how I get into these events. Maybe like if I scan it with my phone, I'll get in. Dude, no. Scanning the QR code, Victor, just looped you right back to that same page. Like literally took you to an individual event page, and that was it. Like basically it loaded up its own page to take you to that drop down. Like that's all it did.
Like try again, huh guys?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
No, man. There's a it definitely sounds like it's a rushed project. I think that maybe not. I mentioned testing. Yeah. I think that this particular thing wasn't tested and wasn't found that it was looping.
I don't feel like a lot of these things were really like there was no real good QA on that, like no quality assurance, like testing and making sure things are good. Now I will say the panels themselves, like as far as like that, they went well. I will say my one biggest problem with this, and PopCon has had this issue in the past, and other conventions have had this issue in the past, is I love panels, Victor. I love going to panels. I love listening to my favorite celebrities or whoever I'm interested in chat about what they do and that interactivity. Yeah. What I also love is a good moderator. Every panel has to have a good moderator. You got to have a moderator who knows what the hell they're talking about. You have to have a good moderator who knows who knows the topic. And yet once again, PopCon failed on this again. They did, and this is something I mentioned, I believe, last year on their actual review of their in-person convention. They did it again, and it gets really disappointing when they have this happen. So I went and watched a panel with a guy named Gerard, and he's called The Completionist on YouTube. I've met him before. Great guy. He's a gamer, and he's a Let's Play guy. That's all he does. That's his whole channel is just that, and reviewing games.
That's right.
So they got this moderator who basically started off the entire panel saying, I don't really know a lot about video games. And I'm like, what? And I just...
Yeah.
And I remember literally face palming, Victor. I actually face palmed. I kid you not when I heard him say that. And I'm just like, what?
It's
and he had a notebook and he had all these questions he was going to ask him. I'm sorry, but look.
That's not going to work.
The same thing happened at PopCon. I think it was either last year or the year before. They had a panel with Kevin Nash, wrestler, former wrestler.
Hey, cool.
And this lady was the moderator. And I'm telling you what, and no offense to the lady, she's just doing her job. They asked her to moderate, she's going to go do it. It's no offense to her. But she goes and she moderates it, and she doesn't know really anything about wrestling. And I'm like,
oh man,
what?
There's no Diesel, huh?
That's like if you're a marine biologist, Victor, and I go to do a panel with I moderate a panel with you talking about marine biology, and I don't know a damn thing about marine biology.
Yeah, no, that's insane. That's crazy. You have to. Okay, if you're gonna moderate a panel, I gotta compose myself for a second there.
Yeah, you're good.
If you're gonna moderate a panel, you can't even be just a casual fan. You have to be a big fan. You have to know who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
Because the whole purpose of the moderation is to keep the conversation flowing when questions are not being asked.
Yep.
So if you have no idea who you're talking to or what this person does, what their livelihood is, and you're kind of just standing up there like, all right, I have nothing to say because I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's a very stagnant show. That's a very stop and go show. That's going to have no flow to it. Yeah. That's not even a conversation, man. That's just all right, let me just ask you a question. It's more like an interview. Let me ask a question. Okay, answer. Question, answer. Question, answer.
Yep.
I'm with you. I'm a fan of of being at panels, and I love to hear the conversations flow between the panelists, between the moderator and the panelists. And sometimes if you're lucky, you get a nice conversation between the audience and the panel.
Yes.
But when that moderator, when that connection, or I shouldn't say connection, but when when the moderator doesn't know what they're going on, that just completely kills the flow of everything.
Yeah.
And it makes it into a completely different experience that could be awkward.
Yeah.
Could be weird. Yeah. It's not as enjoyable if you just had someone that knew what's going on.
And it ties back to my big issue where I don't feel like they should have charged for this event. I don't feel like they should have paid or made people have to pay to access all this content. And it falls into the whole cutting your losses. I know they're a business and I know they want to make money, but don't be that business. You know what I mean? Don't be that business where the money is more important than the experience itself. Case in point, Wizard World. I have never in my life liked Wizard World Comic Cons. I've been to 4 different Wizard Worlds, 1 in Indy and 3 in Chicago. And let me tell you, they are very money-making. It is about money. And I'm not saying their experience is bad, but it kind of sucks. It does. It's not so great. And I don't think that I'm not going to sit here and say that PopCon's on the same level as Wizard World because they absolutely are not. Like at least the staff at PopCon knows what they're talking about, and they know their stuff for and everything. And they're not money hungry. I don't think they're money hungry people. But when you throw together something like this, I was telling my wife, I was like, it kind of makes me almost wish they just didn't have a convention. To be honest, right? Because I know you want to provide something to your fans, and I get that. But maybe they could have pushed back the virtual con if they weren't going to have an in-person one. They could have, you can do a virtual con pretty much any time of year. Because the best part about it is you don't have to rent out a convention space, and that's always a problem with conventions, Victor. Is trying to find a date.
Yeah,
a lot of these, and I've even talked to Carl about this in person before and on Facebook and stuff. Getting a date for a convention is not easy because they're filled up. Usually, you have to get whatever he's told me before. You get whatever date they give you, right? So, I don't know, man. I feel like they might have they should have just maybe swallowed their pride a little bit. I don't know, and
I'm gonna be the good cop here. I'm gonna be the good cop.
You're gonna be the good cop here. Okay.
Into him. I'm gonna be the good cop. Here.
Be the good cop.
So, if I recall correctly, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But if I recall the conversation with Carl, I believe that the virtual con was going to be in addition to a live event sometime down the future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for them asking Popcon to ask for, the badge fee up front as in now, okay, I get it. So then we'll pay that now. Mm-hmm. If I'm being asked to pay down the line again to join the live convention once it's up and running and we're good to go, then it's a problem. So right now I'm kind of looking at it as I'm looking at it right now as an okay, you know what? It's a rush product. It's the first ever live virtual con, but it's an added bonus to actually going to the live event at a certain venue down the line in the future. So maybe that product might not be as polished, but I'm not going to be too worked up over it, only because I know I'm going to still be able to enjoy a live experience down the line. I just don't know when that's going to be.
Yeah.
But if they're asking for a $5 fee down the line, or, oh, you know what, no, we need another whatever to join to get into the, that's like, dude, that's not going to fly.
No,
that's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't.
So that's the saving grace behind everything, I think.
Sure.
Like, okay, this is an added thing that they're just throwing in for us, albeit it's not the best virtual con.
Yeah.
But if we have to pay down the line one more time to get into the event, that's going to be an issue. And I think that's going to be a big problem for a lot of people.
I think my biggest problem is, okay, you could say $8 is $8. $8 is like what? A meal at McDonald's? Okay? I get it. But the thing is, if you were even remotely considered, if you had an inkling of a thought to charge people to go to this virtual only convention, then you need to make that $8 feel like there's a value here, and you need to make sure your con is valuable, if you will. And I think we touched on no description. How do you not? I don't get that. How do you not have that? That's as easy as going into your editor, I don't know what, however they do their site, and going there and just typing it in. It seems like a lot
copy
of
and paste from what I hear.
It seems like a lot of minor things that could have really just been addressed beforehand. And and one other thing I just noticed today, this was something that I think I remember me telling you before we started, like, oh man, I just see something else now that makes me upset. So for those of you that want to listen to our podcast from last weekend, currently the only way to do that is you still have to buy an $8 badge to go access it on the website. They are still charging for that content a week after it happened. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know.
That's is there exclusive? Is it exclusive to Popcon? Is it going to be an issue for?
I don't know. I don't know if it's exclusive to Popcon. It might be. I don't like that. That kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I think I get paying for it for the weekend, but I don't know if you should pay for that stuff, the panels and stuff, like podcasts and stuff, after it's over. I don't know. That's weird. Then again, we're in uncharted territory here. We've never had to do this.
Yeah, that is weird. It's something to address down the line. For all we know, someone forgot to go into the website and flip the switch and say, okay, the content's up now. Let's just give it out to the public.
No.
Live,
Oh no, it's very clear when you go to PopCon's website. It does very well state that, did you miss our show? You can still buy a badge and access our content for $7.99. Oh no, it's very intended.
Oh yeah, that's different. That's different. Yeah.
It's very intended. So we do apologize. We didn't know how we were going to get our. I've been trying to get access to that. Hopefully they will let us. Hopefully, be able to put up that on Spotify and etc. Later on down the road. But we know there's a lot of you that maybe you didn't want to pay $8 to just listen to our show, and that's understandable a little bit. But hopefully we can share that with you guys later, and
we can get a special episode.
And but I will tell you guys that we are planning on. I did talk to Jeremy King. It was a great show, by the way.
That was lots of fun.
Had a lot of fun. Jeremy's a great dude. I did speak to Jeremy, and he did say he would love to come back on. So we'll hope maybe next week, because next week is a guest week. We'll have Jeremy back on, and who knows, we might even have Aaron Kuntz, the director, on as well. So look forward to that. Hopefully we'll get them both on. If not, we'll get Jeremy on, and we'll do this again, and you guys will all be able to listen to it and appreciate it like you should be able to. But other than that, man, honestly, I mean, for it being my first virtual convention experience, I will say this: they tried. They tried, right? They did at least try to put something on for the fans. They wanted to give them an experience because they had kind of already promised the fans that something was going to happen that weekend, right? Mm-hmm. The only issues I have, like I said, were really it felt rushed. It felt like they were on a time crunch, and I feel like they pushed and pushed and pushed to have an actual in-person con, and the lack of descriptions for events and not really letting people know what events, what can I expect going to this panel was not there, or what's this podcast about, or getting our podcast name wrong, which that's whatever.
Yeah.
Those details, those minor details are, once you add them all up, they become a major thing.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, the whole not having your merch on your website.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. That's huge, honestly.
That's huge.
How do you not have your own stuff for sale on your own website? It's beyond me, especially if it's
that's a huge one, because that hurts even more. That hurts even more, because you know what, during the events is when you're gonna have your highest volume of people, a lot of eyes, so that's when you should definitely have it up. And for it not to be there, it's like you missed out on so much. Not so much to just get your shirts out there, but the charity itself is missing out now, that stuff that could have gone there.
Yeah. It's just so odd, because I saw that shirt. I think the first time I saw the shirt was KJ had it on. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, right. I want that shirt, and honestly, I don't really buy a lot of convention shirts. That's not my thing. I collect. I do collect shirts too, but I don't know. I just don't really do a lot of convention shirts. But that one was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and this is their first virtual convention, so like it's got that little historical value to it too, in a way. But yeah, man, I went. Yeah. I mean, where do you think you would find it at, right? That's like the first place you would go to is their website, and it's nowhere to be found, man. It's MIA.
It should have been highlighted. Welcome to Virtual Popcon. Support the group. Buy a shirt. Get a hat. Get a mug.
Yeah.
Glasses. Here you go.
Yeah.
Get the package for $20.
It all goes to a good cause.
Right.
Make
wishes come true. I mean, it writes itself, man.
Yeah, man. It's easy branding, easy marketing. And when you combine all of those issues together, that's why I can't help but feel like this was this thing was rushed. I really feel like, honestly, that they tried to package this all together in about a month, in about a 4-week time. I feel like from the moment they announced that they were doing a virtual convention and the month maybe leading up to it, is all the time they gave into it, and I hate that. I really do. I hate that. You know, I don't like giving a bad review to anything, but I hope that this is lessons learned. You know, I mean, honestly, it is a little bit of, this is a fledgling con. You know, not PopCon as a whole. They've been doing this for 7 years. Which honestly, that now that I think about that, 7 years, you kind of should know better by now, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is still like their first time doing a virtual space, so it is all uncharted territory. But as you said, man, they should have, even behind the scenes, been preparing for that. You know, maybe they should have had a separate team. Like, okay, we're going to have a separate team that's going to start this virtual con and research it and get into it. That way, either way, we're prepared, right?
We're ready to go. Yeah,
we're good to go.
But you know what? Maybe that's a problem right there. I think maybe Carl made mention that they may not have the manpower of, you know, San Diego Comic-Con or some of the other guys like that. So maybe they don't have the resources to have a team. You know,
no doubt.
Check that out.
Yeah, I'm not going to compare like because I'm going to try to attend the virtual SDCC next week. This weekend, I'm sorry, but I feel like I'm not going to compare the two. Like, one's a huge con. Yeah. I can't compare the two. But
could have been just, you know, a big it's a big task. It's a big thing to put on a show online. Could just be as simple as, you know what, we just didn't have the manpower to go through everything, or we didn't have the time to use our resources and go through everything and make sure everything was cool.
I mean, I will say a lot of it had to do with the storm. They had bad technical difficulties. That's the storm. That's not their fault. They can't control the weather.
Yeah.
But I will say a lot of that stuff was within their control. I mean, honestly, I feel like, you know, I don't know who's in charge of updating their website. But that person, I don't know who you are, but I feel like there was a lot of things there that really could have been addressed. I will say something funny. I think it was Saturday, I went into the Facebook PopCon group, and I addressed the whole description thing. I was like, so how come there's like no real descriptions for things? No one answered my question. Like, no one did, which is weird because Carl is in that group. A lot of almost all of the staff are always involved in that group. And I'm like, so they're not going to address it? That's interesting. Like, I thought that was kind of weird that was never.
That's when they had an emergency meeting and they're like, "What? Where's our description, guys? What happened?"
I'm just giving them shit. They probably didn't pay that much attention. They were busy trying to figure things out. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't expect them to get to it like right then and there, you know, like at my command. But like, yeah. So, but I want to say,
I mean, it's a mission. It's a mission to put an event up. I'm glad that they were able to get one out there, albeit not being the best show possible.
Yeah.
But growing pains, man, learn from them. Here's a couple of things that we found out, Brian noticed, and hopefully you can make it better for the next time.
And PopCon has always been good about getting feedback. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the feedback panel. They did do one on Sunday at 5:00.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if I can go back and watch that or not. I think I can. I think it's on their group, but. I will say this, man. You guys at PopCon and Carl, you guys are great. You guys are awesome people. You're great. You're great humans. You definitely care about the local stuff going on in Indy and in Indiana as a whole. You know, and I hope that you know this is coming from love, man. I'm a passionate con goer, and I'm passionate about these conventions. This is all love. Okay, it's not hating on your con. It's just what I see, and I can't not talk about it because it does need to be addressed in some way. And I'm not going to be an asshole and say, "Well, your con sucks. You just don't go." No, I'm not. We're not all about that here. We're all about positivity, but also being fair in criticism too, and where it's due. So I hope that if you guys are listening, please. Take for what I have to say for sure. You know, I mean, you guys were really great. They were really great and receptive to my review last year because that was the first time I actually had to like really kind of give them some cold hard truth.
Getting a paper out.
And I remember it was really. I mean, I had to, man. It's what I do. And I remember actually, I don't ever get to talk to Chris Keys. He's the other co-owner of Popcon. He doesn't really like being on camera a lot, so you won't really see him on camera. But he was at a booth. I think it was for Horror Hound last year, and I walked up to him and I said, so did you get to check out the review? He's like, yeah. And I was like, and he goes, I appreciate your feedback. I said, thank you. I said, I don't like having to give you guys criticisms like that, but it needs to be addressed. And he was very appreciative of it. So thank you guys. If you're listening, thank you for being appreciative, mature about it. I know I've given some criticisms to other cons and they weren't as receptive and they didn't like what I had to say. And that's fine. I mean, you don't have to like what I have to say, but it's the facts are there. I don't make up this shit. It's what you present me with.
What happened?
It's what you present me with.
Right?
So,
it was there.
Yeah, it's what you present me with. I'm just taking what I see and I'm addressing it. That's all it is. But honestly though, really, I'm glad that they usually are very good at learning from their mistakes. And God, I hope we don't have to do another straight up only virtual stuff. I don't like this virtual stuff. I don't like it in the sense of, not that it's a bad convention. I don't like doing the virtual stuff, period. I miss, I'm sure we all can say that we miss doing fun things.
Yeah.
It was really great last night to just go to a drive-in and be around other people, even though we were like kind of not close or whatever. It felt good. It was the first thing I've done all summer where I was around a bunch of people, and it was great. And it felt good, and it made me even miss going to cons even more because you get a taste
of that socialness, and
man.
Oh man, I can't believe we can't do this.
Yeah, hopefully this thing doesn't last too much longer. We beat this stupid thing, and we're done with it. And it's just got to take everybody doing their part, and hopefully we get back at it next year. And next year, maybe Victor, maybe we can get your ass out to Indy, and we can do this show together in person. Yeah,
let's do it. You know what? I'm saying it right now. Let's do it.
They got the dates. They got the dates up for PopCon next year. They're already there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, dude. So let's just go ahead. So Victor's gonna go ahead. He's gonna go ahead and put his vacation in for that weekend.
I'm doing it now. Doing it today.
Do it.
I'm gonna email the boss right now.
But no, that would be great. I love doing podcasts in person. I did one with an old buddy of mine. I think it was at PopCon several years ago. I think like in 2014. And we did it with the guy who created Archer, the show Archer on FX. He's the guy that created it. And Sam Ellis is his name. Great guy. And it was fun, man. We did it in front of about a couple thousand people. It was pretty intense. It was pretty crazy being up there on that stage and doing that. And so let's get you out here next year, man. Let's get you out here, and let's do a show live, man, in front of some people, and we'll find ourselves a guest or two to come with us. Yeah. Let's do it done, dude. Let's do this in person. We could have a booth. We could have a booth all weekend. We could set up like logos and just talk.
I'm sending the email right now.
Do it, brother.
That's cool. Well, we'll put that plan into place because that's going to be the goal right now. So saying it now, that's the goal, so we can do it live, and then that'll be fun.
Yeah, let's get it done, man. But that is all the time that we have today for our for the Dragoncast. That's it today, brother. That's all we got today. Unless you had something else. Did you have anything else you wanted to discuss, Victor? What you got going on, man?
I'm just,
anything out there?
I'm just surprised. I was like, it's time to go.
Yeah, man. I know it went by so quick. It always goes by so quick.
Yeah, it went by pretty quick.
It goes by so fast, man. Also, by the way, go on to the let me see something real quick here, because I meant to do this last time. And I'm going to do it right now. I know, go to dragonblogger.com, guys that are listening. There's always some great contests going on. I know, Victor, you and I, you had mentioned, we need to talk about these contests, man. It just kind of seems like it would be the right thing to do, Got some great giveaways going on right now. Oh, here we go. So Justin Germino, by the way, he's the guy that owns Dragon Blogger, the editor, if you will.
The man himself.
The main man. And we got a contest going on to win an Eviga GeForce RTX 2060 KO Ultra or XFX RX 5600 XT Thick 2 Pro. I don't know jack shit about computer parts. So
that sounded like the Elon Musk kid's name right there, dude. Oh man.
So you can have your choice of his son, the EVGA RTX, or his daughter, the XFX RX 5600 X2.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Squared and divided by 3. I don't know, whatever the damn name
right.
These kids are. Anyway, you can go on there right now and enter to win. Those are graphics cards. At least I know that much about them. You can go on there and win those right now. And I think. Oh no, that's an old contest. That's not going on anymore. Anyway, go on the dragonblogger.com. Go to giveaways. There's a little drop down. There you go giveaways, and you'll see the most recent one at the top. Enter to win, and best of luck to you on that. Also, you guys can find us always on YouTube, and you can go to youtube.com/dragonblogger to listen to all of our podcast episodes, except for the one last weekend.
That's going to be a special episode.
So far,
that'll be
That'll be a special episode. Once we're able to have access to that, we'll be able to put that up. And then, you know, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, you know, all that good stuff, Google Music, and, of course, SoundCloud, as always. And hopefully we'll get Jeremy on here next week. If not, you know, I'll drag a guy off the street if I have to have a guest on this show. You know, we'll do what we got to
get him off the street.
You know, we'll find somebody, man. Somebody's got a voice that wants to be heard, right? You know, I mean, there's got to be somebody out there who wants to speak. Anyway, y'all have a good rest of your week, and thank you guys so much for listening to us. Please show us your love and support. And until next time, we'll see you guys.
All right, later.